Alright, it's January 44, turned 16. I'm just going to show a quick German turn. There is going to be a naval battle right about here. I've moved all the British and American ships out of here and thrown them on the battle board. Everything that was in here that the Germans had has gone 1, 2, 3 with a naval bonus. The coastal defense ship didn't have the range, so it stayed back. Same, and the transports have no purpose in this attack, so they're staying back as well. I may non-combat move them. I'm not sure. So that is all the Navy that the Germans had up there. They also had 6 planes here and a fighter in Paris. So the fighter in Paris has got 4 moves left, and these planes coming from an airbase with long range will have 3 moves left. I'll be building an airbase here, German and Italian destroyer, German attack transport, and 5 fighters, because I have a feeling I might lose all my planes. And I'm okay losing my Navy. The reason I need to do that is these Russians are getting a little bit too heavy in the units. We've got scads of tanks and advanced mechs and Katyushkas getting made, and they are all have nowhere to go except for Germany, so hopefully we can eliminate them before that happens. So let's see if I can't find where I had this set up. Right about there, that'll work. Alright, so we've got an American carrier, 3 destroyers, 2 light cruisers, a tactical, 2 heavy cruisers, a fighter, 2 battleships. The British have 2 coastal defense ships, 1 destroyer, 1 torpedo boat destroyer, and a scrambled fighter from the British Midlands. That brings our numbers up to about par here. The Germans are coming in with 2 torpedo boat destroyers, 3 destroyers, 1 light cruiser, 6 fighters, 1 tactical, 2 battle cruisers, and 2 battleships. So we'll see how this goes. Nobody has any first strikes. There are no subs involved, so the transports that have any particular attacks available are not going to be using them. So the transports are not on the map here. If the Germans win, they will save Gibraltar for the Italians. So there we go. Let's do our air superiority round first. So I'm going to just roll the German fighters. That's all 6 of them. And we've got a 3, a 4, a 6, 2 9s, and a 12. So that's 3 hits. That's all 3 of the Allies' planes. And the Allies are going to roll 2 back in defense. And they get a 6 and an 8. So that's 1 8 1. So I'm just going to remove the planes here. So all 3 of these are now on. I'm just going to put them down here. The fighters have rolled. And they took 1 of mine off, so I'm going to move it down here. It's already rolled, though. So there we go. So that is the air superiority round. 3 versus 1. All right, let's roll everything the Germans have in order. Battleships, 2 at 8, a 1 and a 12. So we'll give them 1 hit. All right, 2 battle cruisers. And we're going to throw a tactical in there as well as an orange. So we've got a 4 for the tactical, a 2 for 1 of the battle cruisers, and a 9 for a miss. So that is 2 more hits. So we're up to 3. Alright. Not counting the planes, of course. The fighters have already shot. So 1 light cruiser at 5. That's a miss. 3 destroyers at 4. They're all misses. 2 torpedo boats at 2. Look at that. A 2 and a 1. Alright, so we go from 3 to 5. So 5 hits plus all their planes. Alright, Now let's see what the Americans do back. Their fighters have already rolled, so we're going to skip those. Just to make sure we don't forget, we're going to do the tactical here at 5. Miss 2 battleship sets. 8. That's 1 hit. Alright, we got 4. Rolling at 6 for the ships. That is a 5 and a 1, so that's 2 more. Where's my 3? There it is. Alright. 2 light cruisers at 5. Nothing. 4 destroyers at 4. That is 1, 2. A couple of 12s and a 10. So that's 4 hits, wherever my 4 is. There we go. And let's see, torpedo boat destroyer and a carrier, both at 2. No hits. Alright, so there we go. So the Germans inflicted 5 hits plus the 3 planes. So the 3 planes have already rolled, they're off. 5 hits, eh? Well, I'd probably take 2, 3, 4, 5. That's probably what I would do. And these guys got to take 4 off of them. The Germans don't really care about their fleet, but we'll take off 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. All right, let's do round number 2 here. 2 battleships at 8. That is 2 hits. All right. Tactical is orange. 3 at 7. That is 1 target selected and 2 misses. We have to target select. What would you target select? Something in this pile here. All of them only have 1 hit left. Fighters. I'm just going to move this over here so I know that I have 1 target selector. Fighters, I have 5 fighters rolling. At 6. Oh, this guy's off too from last round. 5 at 6, I've got a 4 and a 6, so 2 hits. So we bring this up to 4. And then I got 1 at 5 and 1 at 4. So let's see, 1 at 5, 1 at 4. Nothing, nothing. All right. So I got to pick one of their hits, and they lose 4 hits. Let's see what they do back to me. 2, 4, 6, and 6. 6 at 6. Oh, look at that. 3 1s and a 6. So they get 4 hits. Very handy. Very, very handy. So we'll give them 4 hits. So we'll say that there's, just to make it easier, I'll just put the 4 down here. Two at 5. 1 hit. So that means I'm up to 5. So we're tied now in number of hits. And 4 at 4. Nothing. All right. So these guys need to lose 1 targeted. And they're probably going to take off 4 destroyers. And we're going to target, let's target a battleship because it's more expensive and it's got more range than a coastal defense ship. Alright, so that's the German hits. Now, the Allies gave 1, 2, and I need to lose 3 more. You know what? Let's just take 2 hits on this. And a fighter. Oh, this is getting close. Maybe do I leave that up here take 3 of these off because I bought 2 more of these, or 5 more of these, so hopefully these guys can save their hits. I'd rather them roll at an 8 than at a 6, so better odds. Not great, but better odds. So I've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hits left. They've got 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that all depends. That's on hits on yourself, right? Because these are undamaged. All right, we'll see how this rolls out. 2, 8, a 7, and a 12. So that's 1. All right, we're going to roll our tactical in orange again. So 3 at 7. And not 1 hit. Pair of 8s and a 9. And 2 fighters at 6. Whew, I only got 2 hits that round. All right, let's see what these guys get. Five at 6, 9, 9, 11. They got 2 hits. And 2 at 5. Nothing. So both sides got 2 hits. These guys are probably going to lose these 2. Nothing's target selected. And these guys... I need to make sure I win. We'll lose these 2. That's pricey. I need to make sure I win so I can kill those 5 transports. Alright, so 2 battleships at 8. That's the pair of 5s, so that's 2 hits, and that was my elbow getting the 3rd one. Alright, and we got a tactical in blue, and then 2 battle cruisers at, oh look at that, we got 3 more hits, and one of them was target selected. So that gives me 4 hits. I guess the target selection doesn't really matter, but we're going to make sure they lose the more expensive thing that can be repaired. And then they got to take off 3, so I'm going to assume they're going to do that. So these are their damages. Let's see what we do back here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at 6. Okay, and they got 3 hits. Whew. So we're down to 1 here. So we're going to take off 1, 2, 3 hits that way. All right. Tactical is blue. Actually, it doesn't really matter. I've got a 5. So I got my 1 hit I needed. And they get a 4, so they get a hit back. So bang, and let's lose one of these. We're going to lose them both anyway next turn. Well, I'm at a shipyard, so we'll lose this because it's at a shipyard. There's a chance they can get repaired. I doubt it'll happen. So we've successfully managed to win with 2 damaged battleships and a surviving tactical bomber. All right. So that will be 2 damaged battleships. I was hoping to have some fighters back that I could scramble from. I might have taken my casualties incorrectly, but it's too late now. So this had 3 zones that could travel back. I'm just going to put it in here because I don't know where else to put it. So that is the German turn. These 5 transports have been eliminated. Most of the American fleet has been eliminated, but there is still a substantial amount of Air Force that can fight me there. I was hoping to have some fighters left over. The Americans can bring in their destroyers from the East Coast as well and eliminate those ships. But we shall see what they do. I'm just going to save this back here because I don't know what else to do with it. So we're going to place a destroyer at our shipyard. Oh no, we had a plan. These are going into the Med. Attack transport and a destroyer. We're going to give the Italians a destroyer. We're going to buy 5 fighters and we're going to just put them at the air base up here so that they have, we'll put them at the air base right here so they have more range. What am I doing? We're going to put 3 fighters up here. We're going to put 1 fighter in there, and we'll put 1 fighter down there. I just got to dig out my dead fighters to be able to spread them around because I lost them all. Let's get 4 fighters. There we go. Perfect. So we'll throw 1 down here. And we'll throw 3 up here. And now we got a non-combat move. We're going to fly single infantry 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down to there. The single infantry. And we'll get our Spanish infantry for free as well. Berlin, so I'm just going to leave that one right there. So we're getting a free one. Right, a free one, and one is flying down there. Alright, so that is the German turn in a nutshell. We'll see what I have for money at the end of the turn. I need to do a Vichy move, but nothing's in range. So Vichy is just going to move this fleet 1, 2, the distance it can move to this major port it owns. Now we'll bring these 2 guys along. And from here it'll be in range to go 1, 2, 3 and take that if it's still available. The reason I'm doing that is currently the Free French are in range to reach the same place going back, except for they don't have a major naval base, so they can't reach me with the transport. But the 2 destroyers and a sub can, and Gibraltar is closed to the Free French because the Italians own it at the moment. So we'll see what happens there. Alright, I have a feeling I will lose my German Navy up there, but that's okay. They had a shuck going where they had 3 transports able to land in London or somewhere in Europe every turn, already established, and this has just terminated that. And yeah, it's gonna make them have to spend some money on Navy over here, or completely redirect away from the Med, allowing Italy a free rein to leave the Med. That is a German turn. It's the Russian turn, but first I need to do a couple corrections for my German turn. I don't believe that the Vichy would be allowed through the Suez Canal by the British. The British won't fight them, but why would they allow them access to the canal if they're fighting against one of their allies, the Free French? So I'm going to have to redo a turn I did last turn and move this back up here, because I don't think that was a legal move. Because if I was Britain, I wouldn't allow it. And as a result, we're going to allow Vichy to move its Navy 1, 2, and just drop its dudes off here. That seems more realistic to me. Another thing I did is I dropped a an advanced transport for the Germans down here, but it's not adjacent to home country, so I don't believe I can do that. All the other advanced units have to be built at home country, so I don't believe that's possible. So I took the $3 off and replaced it with a regular transport, and as a result I lend-leased 1 infantry to the Vichy instead. I figured that would be the most fair thing to do, and I want to make sure I'm trying to go off of how the rules are. I really don't think that the British would allow somebody who's a faction of a civil war that's against their ally to go through their canal. So even though the British can't fight it, they can certainly deny it access. All right, so that's that. Next thing, the Russians realized how weak the German forces were. Let me move this just down a little bit. You can see what we all have. The Russians realized how weak the Germans were. They moved all these units here that were in Oral-Kursk into Lubelsky, I think it is. I could be wrong. It's covered up right now. All the units that were in Moscow have moved down into this zone right here. I'm not even sure what it's called because I buried it. Eastern Ukraine. And then the units that were in Stalingrad have moved into Oral-Kursk. The Russians did build 5 tanks here, 1 here, 1 there, and 3 up there, for a total of 10. They've also convoy raided the Germans and failed. They tied. And then they fought the Finnish here and took out that ship, that torpedo, the coastal defense ship, and lost a destroyer in the process. So that's what's all happened up there. Germany moving the fleet out of here kind of gave them the motivation, and that and the fact that Germany doesn't have a lot of units on its border, but it's got a lot more. So that's what happened on this side for Russia, and those are my Vichy corrections and my German build corrections, because I don't believe that was legal. Now, Russia does have a few options on this side. So what I have done is I railed 2 units from here down to here, just in case the Japanese decide to get interesting. And I figured with this coastal gun, I have a chance. Plus, Japan's a little bit busy. So, all right, so that's the Russian turn. Russia made an extra $12 this turn as a result of getting $5 in bonuses and $7 in wartime economy. It cancels out the $3 it was getting from the pact, but it's already made more money. Germany did, unfortunately, this is after they already collected their money, get Finland, so Germany does go up 2, but they cannot collect that 2 till next turn. So we'll see what happens there. And that is the Russian turn. All right, it's the Japanese turn. There's not too much craziness going on. 2 of the fighters off of here are flying here for 1 to do an attack. The tactical is flying here to do an attack for 1. The fighters will be non-combat moving 2, 3, 4, 5 and landing on these fleet carriers. Everything that was here has moved to here. I do have the option, and I'm going to do this as well. I don't want to, actually no I'm not. I don't want to initiate war with between the Japanese and the Russians just in case. We're going to bypass this Russian sub and go there. Russia has not done anything to Japan yet, so let's keep it that way. The destroyers that were in these 3 locations have moved forward to become blockers. It's not really much of a blocker, but it's something. So we'll see what happens there. And 3 destroyers that were up here have gone 1, 2, 3 and brought 2 elite marines and a regular marine to Thailand or Siam. Keep forgetting that everything's not in the modern names. So, all right. So that's what's going on here. So these are my only 3 combats, and I built 2 fighters, finished 3 of these battle cruisers and a destroyer. Built 1 Marine, and we built 5 infantry in total. We kind of rearranged a few guys here as well, so there's been a total of 5 built here. So I just moved everybody out of here to there and to there and there. So we built 4 infantry and 1 Marine all here. All right, and then we've placed 4 ships in a shipyard and built 2 fighters in the adjoining factory and landed them on the carriers. All right, so that is what's gone on with Japan. Japan has made no money increases. After last round, it got devastated down here last turn. So we're just going to do these 2 rolls here and call it. All right. So let's roll those 2 fighters against those 2 coastal subs. The subs can't defend against planes, so 2 at 6 we failed, and 1 at 7 against the regular sub, and the tactical failed. So Japan missed everything. It only had to roll that many dice, and it missed everything. So we're going to land this guy back on there, and we're going to fly these 2 down to the carriers at the bottom. So we'll see what happens. Japan does have a bigger fleet here than the Americans do. It also has a bigger fleet than these guys do, but if you add them both together, it's about the same in this location. It does have this as an additional fleet. Oh, I also moved the 2 heavy cruisers that were up here down to here, so that leaves me with 2 battleships, 2 fleet carriers, 1 light carrier, 3 heavy cruisers, 1 light cruiser, 7, 8, 9, 10 destroyers, and 1 torpedo boat destroyer, and 5 transports, all down here. That includes these 3 that just came down. There's also an Australian sub in the same zone, but due to the range, I could not combat or patrol it, so it's just sitting there. It could have blocked my movement or made a combat, but why? It can just move away next turn and do whatever it wants. All right, so that was that. Yeah, so there we sit. That's the Japanese turn. So they have done nothing to increase themselves. They did collect their 5 bonuses from this, 2 from Borneo, 2 from Java, and wartime economy, they fluked out and got a 10. So that's 10 bonuses plus the 43. So they're at $63 in income. And we'll see what the British do next. All right, the British turn. So the Australians have built 2 Marines and 1 militia here. They have also moved over to here and taken Java for 2. So they're giving the Dutch another 2 money. And they've taken a $2 piece off the Japanese plus their $2 bonus. So there's a bonus. There is going to be a fight in here. We're going to attack Siam. We've got 5 infantry coming out of the bottom here. 5 Gurkhas and 2 colonial infantry. Plus the 3 fighters out of there. In Calcutta. So we'll see what happens over there. They will be placing Gurkha. Colonial. And 2 militia. And the fighters are not coming out of an airbase, so they're moving 1, 2, 3, and they got 2 moves left because we have long range. Oh no, we don't have long range. They got 1 move left, so they can either land here or there. I'm going to assume they're going to land up there, but let's roll this out first. So that is 5, 6, 7 infantry and 5. Is that 5? Nope, 4 Gurkhas. So versus 6 infantry 1 regular Marine, so 7. So let's just do this the quick and easy way. The attack is 5, 6, 7 infantry at 2. So wow, look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. I'll take that. 2s and 1s. We've got 4 Gurkhas at 2. They're all misses, and 3 fighters at 6. That's 3 more hits. So that is a total of, what have we got there? 7 hits. All right. So that would be 6 infantry and the regular Marine all gone. All right. So 2, 4, 6, 7. Let's roll them at 4 back defense. Unbelievable. 1 hit. All right. And then we've got 2 elite Marines at 5. No hits. So 1 hit by the Japanese in defense. The Japanese just can't win a fight against these British, I tell you that. So they've lost 7. Or 8, sorry. 5, 6, 7, yeah. And they only took 1 infantry off of these guys. So obviously the British are going to roll again. So we'll roll 3 fighters. They got 1 hit. They need 2. So let's roll the 4 Gurkhas and see if we can get it done that way. Yeah, there we go. That's 2 hits. And 2 at 5 in defense. 1 hit. So we'll lose the Colonial. And the Japanese lose these 2. And the Japanese lose this place called Siam. And I don't believe the FEC can take anything over. I believe it goes to the British, but I could be wrong. I think it goes to the FEC since they took it over. With their units. Alright, so they got 5 regular infantry, 4 Gurkhas, and the planes will fly up into this place up here. Alright, so the FEC goes up $1 to 13. Japan goes another $1 down to 40. Japan's already lost $3 there. And I do have a convoy up here, so we're just going to roll that out quick. Red is always my defense. And that's +2, so the Japanese lose $2. I'm just going to slap that down there. So I remember to take it off their income. Let's see, what else did the British do? The British have moved a tank that was here, 1, 2, so it can take that Italian location. Infantry that was here is moved to there. They railed 1 more infantry from here all the way up to there. Alright, but there is another attack up here. The British have moved the entire fleet that was outside of Gibraltar to up here. They've built and placed 2 attack transports, moved 2 tanks out of here to there in non-combat, built a fighter, and 2 infantry. Alright, so it's just against 2 damaged battleships, and the tactical cannot scramble from the airbase because it's not a fighter. So it's a pretty easy go here. I'm just going to roll a few things for the British and hopefully get a few hits. Battleship at 8, that's a hit. And battlecruiser at 7, that's 2 hits. Alright, so 2 battleships back that are damaged at 6, 2 hits. Alright, so we're probably going to damage the British battleship. Because since it's parked here at a minor shipyard, next turn it will be fixed by the end of the turn if it doesn't move. And we'll lose a destroyer. Alright, so there we go. And that is the totality of the British fleet on the entire map, not counting the Australian fleet on the other side. So that's all that's left of it. And that is the British turn. The British are collecting 28 plus 3 for their bonus of Suez on that side. There is something on a British convoy line, so it counts. They don't get that bonus. The FDC collects 13. Australia collects 7, but doesn't get its bonus. FDC doesn't get its bonus because of Aden being Japanese. Australia doesn't get its bonus because there's a destroyer in 2 zones, and the Dutch are now up to 4 from 2 last turn. So there we go. I don't know if that matters to anybody, but that's the full details. Alright, turn 16 again. French did nothing. They collect $2. They saved $2. Now they have $4 in the bank. I'm pretty sure the French don't want to attack the Vichy there, and attacking a mountains at 1, defending at 4 is an act of lunacy on both sides, so it's nothing happened there. Alright, Italians. So the Italians are doing a few things here. First I'm going to do this convoy roll. So I have a sub attacking at +2 against radar and anti-submarine warfare with no escort that's at +3. So a fun fact here. Let's see what happens. D6 D6 black is attacker, and the D12 sided dice needs to get a 2 to get a hit. It missed. +2 makes it 6. 6 plus 3 makes it 9. So you can't give them $3 back. So that's just over. All right. What else have the Italians done? I'm just gonna. There we go. You can catch the whole Mediterranean at the same time. So there were 3 transports over here. One has gone here and brought 2 infantry to Gibraltar. The Italians also built a militia, and they built a coastal gun. The German suicide attack on the American and British Navy managed to prevent this from getting attacked for a turn, so they could actually kind of reinforce it in Gibraltar. So I currently have 1 transport with 3 destroyers and a light cruiser. Over here we've got a battleship, and oh yeah, this needs to go to the shipyard to get repaired. And we'll give it a destroyer just in case some kind of weird German sub or Russian sub action happens. Alright, so what we're going to be doing here is we'll be bombarding 1 at 2, 1 at 4. We'll be bombarding over here, 1 at 3, 1 at 2 on this one. Both of them have 1 Marine and 1 regular infantry. This one's got 2 fighters. That one's got a tactical. So we'll see what happens here. Hopefully something is successful. It isn't a desert, so I'm at -1 for my land units on attack. So both my Italian units on both zones are rolling at 1. So I had to bring a plane along to hopefully get a hit. So we'll see what happens. Alright, so I'm just going to try and stick this over here somewhere where it works. That, militia in Liberia has never done anything except for get in the way of everything I do with this board. Anyhow, we're going to try the bombardment in Tripolitania here. I think I'm saying that right. So 1 at 4. There we go. We got a hit. That's all we needed. So this is successfully taken. The Italians get it back. Now let's hope we can do the same thing over here. Another first strike, 1 at 3 from the battle cruiser, missed. The heavy cruiser hit at 2, perfect. So there we go. 2 successful dollars taken from the British and given back to the Italians. They kind of need some money. All right, so that is that for the Italians. That went surprisingly well. We're going to have to fly these aircraft back home somewhere. And just in case we get an attack over here, let's throw a fighter in there, a fighter over there, and attack to go over there. Let's give them 2 fighters just in case the British or the Americans get crazy. I don't think they will. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Nah, we're going to put them over here. I want to have that extra move. And they can scramble to join this or this if need be, since those are my weaker navies in case the Russian subs go a little bit insane. All right, so that's the Italian turn. I haven't shown you this for anybody else, but why not? Italian wartime economy is 5 and 3 for 8, and their income has gone up 2, so they're currently at 10, and the British go down to 26 from 28. All right. So they collect 10, plus they collect 8 for their wartime income, plus they collect 4 more. We can take one of these off because they have 2 of their bonus income objectives. They have no enemy warships in here. Russia's not an enemy, and I believe it's surface warships, but I could be wrong. But anyway, these subs are not currently at war with the Italians. They just, I think Russia only did that so that it didn't get surprise strike by Germany, then, because that's devastating. Plus, Russia's got enough units that could probably eliminate Germany if Germany's busy on the other end at the same time. And Japan's too hard pressed to do anything. So Italy's just doing this for now. We'll see what happens next turn. I don't think I'm in any position to really advance Italy too far. Oh yeah, this belongs to the fleet over here. So there we go. That is the Italian turn. That's it. Okay, the American turn. They blew all their money on destroyers. They built 5 on this side, and they built 5 on the far side. They do have a couple of attacks here, so I'm going to roll them out. They're paying $10 to attack Portugal. I think in the grand scheme of things, it's going to be beneficial for them. The problem I was having with the Americans is trying to get a transport chuck to Britain. I was stalling out here. And in order to get meaningful enough numbers, I needed something that was faster. So this gives me the opportunity to go 1, 2, 3, and 3. 3 and 3 from a port. I just need to upgrade this shipyard or else build another port there. As the Americans' next turn and I'll be set. Or I can use this to land attack into Spain and thus into Gibraltar if need be. I'm not quite sure what I want to do yet. So we'll figure that out. So yeah, one of the transports that was here brought 2 Marines down. One of the transports that was here brought 2 Marines over. These 4 destroyers that were around here will be fighting this 1 torpedo boat destroyer. That's the action on this side, and you know, well, we might as well just roll it. So we need to be successful on an attack. Because if we're not, where did I have more dice? Anyway, we need to be successful on our attack, or we shall fail. So the one orange one is the defender at 2. Everybody else is attacking at 4. This is the sea battle, and we got 1 hit, and everybody else missed. So that is a success. Now, I forgot to show this. This bomber can come in here, and it'll be landing in with the Free French in Morocco. So, because otherwise I have no firepower in there. There is no terrain, thankfully. So we got 1 at 7 for the bomber. That is a hit. And we've got 4 at 2. And we got 1 other hit. There we go. That's all we needed. The defense is 2 at 2. And they got 1 hit. So there we go. We lose a Marine, leaving us with 3. I've already taken the $10 out of their account. Alright, so we're throwing down an American roundel on that. And I'll have to throw down a German roundel on some of the other ones wherever I happen to find them. I'll do that at the end of the turn here. It's not too consequential because nobody's going to be collecting that money this turn for Germany. Unless it's still there at the end of their next turn, which is probably going to be the case. I'll figure it out and show it then. So that's the one attack on this side. Now on this side, I decided not to attack. Let me just cram it up there a little bit. Alright. So I had a fighter and a tactical over here. Using an airbase in long range, they can land here in 6 moves. So what I did is I took the fighter off the carrier and put a tactical on the carrier and 2 fighters at this airbase so that they can scramble 2 fighters into the sea battle if need be, leaving only 1 tactical left on the ground. That way I can increase my ability to defend myself in here. I'll also be doing 3 convoy attacks against the Japanese. No, this is not the Japanese. Okay. Alright, we're going to move that one. We'll move that guy into over here, because why not? It's more annoying too for the Japanese. The Japanese have a harder time getting around it. We'll have to actually fight it to get past it. Alright, so that's what we've got. The Japanese do not have advanced anti-submarine warfare. So I'm just going to roll these out. I don't know if you really care to see them or not. If you do, there it is. Alright. Stack some dice. Alright, as always, red is my defender, black is always my attacker. For these ones anyway. We're going to do the 56 first there. That is defender at 2 and the attacker at 7. Difference of 5. The line is worth 5. So we're just done. Alright. I don't have to roll on the other ones because the line's already maxed out. Who knew? Alright, so that's the American turn. The Americans have moved from 64 to 65 income. They do not have wartime economy, but they get their bonus of 12 bucks. So they'll be sitting pretty. They'll be making $77 this turn. And I didn't want to do any other attacks because the Japanese fleet on this card does actually overwhelm my numbers. And from this place here, 1, 2, 3, 4, that can also hit me here as well. But I'd rather have them come to me, so I don't know. I'm not in a good position. Fleet-wise, the Japanese has more fleet than I have, including the British down here, the Australians. However, land unit-wise, they're getting their butts kicked over here. So for now, I think I just want to keep the fleet at bay and kind of try to make it difficult for the fleet to move transports back and forth from the factories to the mainland in Asia. Alright, so that is it, and I'm done.